I'm recording right now. I'm recording.
Yeah.
Good.
Hello. James Poindexter. I am so happy to have you as my guest today. Um, I want to talk about resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! So this has been a long process,
Yes, it has.
not just for you, not just for you, but for me too,
Mhm.
because we all have to go through stages of resilience.
Yes, we do.
So yeah, so I just want to Um, you could start wherever you want to start, but I want to know um, how did you finally um, push through resilience in terms of surviving?
Well, the first thing that happened for people who don't really know, I'm a foster kid, a former foster kid I was abandoned by my family when I was 10. And my dad just my parents just kind of left. My mom left my dad when I was in West Virginia. They went back to New York. She went to New York, took my sister and left. And I stayed with my dad. And then he decided he wanted mom back, so he left and left me in the house, never came back. And so I was 10 at that time.
Wait. What do you mean never came back?
Never came back. I didn't see him again until I was 25.
Okay, got it.
They
Okay,
left me in a house.
okay.
Yeah, so I was there for a week before I realized he wasn't coming back.
Mm.
And then I started walking around the neighborhood till I found my grandparents. And my grandparents were kind of too old to deal with me, so they gave me to my other grandparents. And then
On
they
your mother's side.
Yeah, so well, no, so first I found in my grandparents on my mom's side, then they gave me to my grandparents on my dad's side. And then after that, she gave me to my aunt, and then she threw me in a shelter right away.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so at that time, I was in survival mode the whole time. Resilience, resilience is it's different when you're surviving. Like sometimes when you're living through it, you don't see it for what it is because you're just living through it. So you don't see how like, man, I'm really making it through this. You don't think about it. You're just thinking, where's my next meal? Where's my next bed? I don't want nobody to mess with me. What do I do? Like, you're just surviving. You're just in this mode. And so some people curl up and get scared and need help. I was not like that. When I realized that my parents were going to come back for me, I just dropped them. I just dropped them and I just had to keep moving forward because nobody was giving me any mercy. Uh when I was in my first shelter, I was the smallest and the youngest. So everybody picked on me. People would take my food, people would take my toys, they'd come in my room, take my pillow, my covers, all this stuff. They would take all my stuff from me. So what I had to do is either be scared and run to the staff, and I tried that. But staff ain't there 24 hours, and the kids can get
Right,
to you. The kids can get to
right,
you anyway.
right.
So I started becoming violent, and having violence was how I got people off me. And so
Yeah.
I would do violent things to people, and I realized that I had to be extra violent because I was small. Uh,
Mhm.
I will tell you one incident. I'll tell you one. That's short. I was in this group home, and because I was not 18, I couldn't watch rated R movies because I was young. And so they had the movies they would watch, they were downstairs, but I like to play downstairs. I had a bunch of little Tonka toys, I would play them downstairs. So I was already down there playing, but the group of kids came down and they wanted to watch a movie. So they cut the movie on, and I was off in the corner, so nobody was paying attention to me at first. And the staff came down, and they were like, "Yo, we got to cut this off because he's here. We can't play a rated R movie with him in here." So their
So,
solution,
so were you the only one like that couldn't, or was it other kids too? Or you the only one that was the younger
I was the
person?
youngest one, and I was the only one that couldn't be in that room if they were watching the movie.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm
And
listening.
so they took me, they picked me up and threw me in a dumpster. And then they shut the dumpster. And then they went back in to watch the movie. And so that was how they solved that problem. And so I stayed in there because I was scared to come out because they were threatening me and stuff. When I finally came out, I went to the staff to tell them what happened, and they didn't help me. And so I realized right then, if I don't do something about this, it's going to keep happening. So I saw the kid that threw me in the dumpster. So when he went downstairs to wash his clothes, I kicked him down the steps and he fell and broke his leg. And then I took a bowling ball and bashed his head in. This is what I did. And from there on, people came and saw that. Oh, he's crazy. And after that, I started cutting people in their face and stabbing people. And people, they would like, it was crazy. I was extra violent. And everywhere I went, I was like that. And
But you,
yeah,
because you were in survival mode.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
so this is
survival
how I
mode.
had. And whenever you go to a new shelter, they'll try to do something called initiation, where they'll beat you up when you first come in. All the kids try to beat you up when you first come in. And so they would jump me all the time. This happens a lot.
Wait. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So it is. So it's like when you go to a shelter, it's like a game.
It's like a little prison. It's a
Okay,
prison
sorry.
for at-risk kids. So
Okay,
it's
got
like a
it.
little jail. Yeah, and if
Okay.
you're the newest one, they want to beat you up. They want to jump you in. They want to like this ear hole. I have an ear hole. I have four ear holes, right? The first one that I ever got, they held me down and pushed the earring through my ear. Like that's how it happened. Like I didn't get it professionally done. Someone just shoved the earring right through my ear and it bled out. And it got infected, all this stuff. Like this kind of thing was kind of common. And
Mm.
so you either took that and you would get more of that, or you figure out what you do about it. So, you know,
It's the bullies.
yeah,
It's like either I'm gonna stand up
yeah,
or not.
yeah. And so basically, when they did that, I took the fork and I bent all the fork pieces down except one that was sticking up. And when that kid walked past me, I stabbed him in his face.
Wow.
That's what I had to do.
Wow.
And
To
so,
survive. And you know what, James? I didn't know until um yesterday or today or whenever we talked. I didn't know um the West Virginia. Is it? Did you have to go to group homes because there was no more foster homes?
yeah, so they always try to pair you with like I'm black, so they want to pair me with black people. Like they try to pair you with someone that's like you, and there weren't a lot of families that wanted me. The older you get, the harder it is. Everybody wants babies. Nobody wants teenagers. Nobody
Yeah,
wants,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why when I shared my story, and I know she doesn't mind, when I shared my story about Connie, who
Mhm,
was the she was a Bill's what I'll say, a bounty hunter.
mhm,
She only took boys
mhm,
because she knew how to handle them. And she saved probably I knew her for 5 years. She probably saved, I don't know, probably six boys for not going into the group homes. And
mhm,
because she knew how to handle them. Like she knew,
mhm.
like, hey, hold up.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So do you think does it vary from state to state as far as like the foster homes and like group homes?
Yeah. Yeah. Every state's not the same. Some
Okay,
states have more, some states have less. At that
okay.
time, West Virginia had a bunch of group homes and not as many foster parents. So it was easy, but you couldn't stay in one for long. They had short-term ones and long-term ones, group homes. And
Wow.
so you had to move. After so long, you had to move somewhere else. You couldn't stay in one.
Where were you going? Like,
To
I mean, if you're a child, like, where are you? Where are you going from the group home to where?
to another group home if you couldn't find a home. So people's job was to find you a foster home. But if they couldn't find you one, then they would bounce you to another group home.
To another group home.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. So, where did you, if you don't mind me asking, where did I mean, you kind of you already said a little bit, but in your mind, have you always been like resilient?
I mean,
Like, I'm gonna make it, like, no matter what.
yeah, that's I always
or,
try to figure
or
out.
was it something that you had to develop?
You know what? I think that because of these situations where I had to survive, I've always just figured out like when something happens, when something major happens, I don't panic. The first thing I think is, what's the next step? Okay, this happened. This happened. Now what do I do?
Mm. Oh, that's
That-
so good.
That's the
Say
first
that
thing.
again. Say that again. Say
Yeah,
that again.
I always think about what do I do whenever something major happens. Let's say oh, you know, a good example. A couple days ago, an earthquake happened out here, right? An earthquake happened, shook
You
the
live
building.
in California.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm in San
A real
Diego.
earthquake, like you on the
Yeah, the
ground
ground
shaking.
was shaking, the building was shaking. Yeah. Staff is going everywhere. I'm like, nah. What's the first step? Stand in the doorway. So if a fall won't hit me. Put these people under here. Move these people over there. I don't panic. I don't think about it until it's over. Like I don't think about, man, I just got through that. I don't think about any of that. At the moment, it's get out, fix it. It's how I think. It's always
Mhm.
how I think.
That's that resilient part to me because you kind of have to be in a moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you think, but like for me, you know, hindsight is always 2020.
Hmm.
So sometimes we be like, how did I make it through that? Because you gotta move. Like
Hmm.
whatever's happening, like,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Well,
got to
thank you
go
for
through stuff.
sharing this
But you got to
story.
go through stuff because I've seen people when something happens, they freeze. They just, and then you got to grab them like, come on this way. Like you got to direct them because they're not. There's some people
Yeah.
that they were raised where nothing happened to them. They didn't go through nothing. Everything was unicorns,
Mm,
rainbows. And so when something instant happens,
mm.
they're like, let me see, I don't do that. And also, martial arts help. I shoot guns and my gun training helped. Like we do,
Talk about the martial arts.
huh?
I love hearing about the martial arts. Was
Oh,
that that was the discipline?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline. Martial arts has been my whole life, man. Martial arts. We who would have knew they made martial arts part of my anger management program because everybody said I had a problem because I was violent. And so, but I told them I'm only violent because people won't leave me alone. If people would just leave me alone, I'd be fine. And so nobody wanted to hear that. They wanted to try to give me medications and talk to psychiatrists. I never took none of that. I put it in my mouth and spit it out. I knew it was wrong. If you left me alone, I'm chilling in the corner by myself. If you
Yeah.
mess with me, I'm gonna stab you. That's just kind of how I was. It just was kind of like that.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
And
It
so,
is,
yeah.
yeah. It's wonderful. Just learning. It is I don't even know if that's they call it the law of the fittest. I don't even know if that's a term, but you know, you have to survive. And what you just said, it's not my testimony.
Mhm.
What you just when you just talked about somebody being stuck. So this happened like 3 years ago. Um, God told me go outside. This was like 3 in the morning. I'm like, go outside. I was like, go outside in Cleveland. I was, "Oh." He said, oh, just open your door. And James, there was this lady on the ground. She was getting beat.
Mhm.
I'm talking about beat. She was getting beat. And and I was like, oh God, hold up. And so, but you know what? I said, no, I gotta call the police. This lady is to die on the ground.
Mhm.
And so I called the police and I said, hello. And I gave them my address and I said, this lady is on the ground. She's getting beat. So what I did in between the time, James, I went to her and I said, hello. And the guy had driven off.
Mhm.
And I asked her her name. And I said, because you don't know the backstory, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, but it's blood on the ground. And I'm like, I need your name so I could tell the police when they come. My point is, She was like this. She was so
Hmm.
afraid. And I
Hmm.
was like, and I and so for me, I said, hey, okay, you about to die right here.
Hmm.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. In your emotional state, maybe you want to die. You're not doing it here.
Yeah.
And she thanked me. She was like, "Thank you, thank you." And so when the police came, it ended up being that the guy was arrested. They found him. He was around the corner, and it was just like I said, "No, you cannot die. No, we're not doing this." And
Hmm.
I pretty much I brought her back to life in an
Hmm.
emotional state.
Hmm.
In an emotional state, I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I need you to wake up." Hey, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her, but I said, "I need you to wake up because you God has a plan for you. You cannot die on these streets.
Hmm.
No, no. I need you to get up. Get up." I mean, she
Hmm.
couldn't get up, but but the ambulance came and it took her out on the stretcher, and I just prayed for her. And the guy had lied, and he said, "I don't know her. I don't know her." And I'm like, clearly you do know her. You just beat her." And so they found him. And he was right around the corner. And it is such a blessing to be able to um, just, what am I trying to say? Just to intervene. So when I majored in social work
Hmm.
at Ohio University, they had, it was I don't know, it was a precedent. It was a precedent that was made, something about, how people would ignore things.
Hmm.
So you could see something, you'd be like, "Oh, I ain't see that.
Hmm.
I ain't see that." And so, but I was always the type of person that, no, I saw it. This is what happened,
Hmm.
you know. And the reason why it's unfortunate is because we ignore different things. We
Hmm.
we ignore, but it's like, no, you could have saved that person's life. You
Hmm.
could have. What I'm gonna do? You think I'm about you? Not you. I'm saying anybody.
Hmm.
You think I'm about to watch somebody down the street? No, I'm not. And so it's, even when it gets into bullying and things like that, I'm always a person like, "Hello, the teacher, did you see this little boy beating up a?" Oh,
Hmm.
and it's about responsibility. And you already know, some people, they don't want to take it.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm celebrating James Poindexter today
That's cool, man.
because you're a survivor.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But the system was rough, but it helped at the end. I will say it was Youth Advocate that helped me a lot. They found my last set of foster parents who were the ones who put me in ROTC and martial arts and
Wait, talk about them if you don't mind. So
oh
this is a man and a woman.
yeah,
Or
Robin and Carolyn Griffith, they took like 32 kids at some point. Like they had a bunch over the course of their time. They just kept taking kids in.
wow.
And they were foster parents of the year for West Virginia Youth Advocate because they took in so many kids. But
Mm,
but the cool thing is they took me in when I was 15. Most people didn't want teenagers, but actually it was funny because the mom said no. Dad said yes. And then me and mom got super close after I got there because she couldn't have kids of her own. And dad already had a son that was living there, but he didn't call her mom because she wasn't his mom. So I called her mom. So me and her got super tight. And so, yeah, they helped me a lot, man. And my mom passed, but my dad's still alive. I talk to him. I'm gonna probably talk to him today. I talk to him all the time.
does he live in your city or
He
no?
lives in Baltimore.
Okay.
But he didn't at that time. At that time, he was in West Virginia. He worked for the FBI and he transferred his job back out to Baltimore where he was from.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that is so
but
wonderful.
yeah, they stuck me in martial arts and I started karate when I was I think 15 or 16. But the cool thing about all that
What?
was that, I had an outlet to take out my aggression And it turned
Yeah.
into this huge situation. I was just taking it supposedly for anger management. And then I started competing in tournaments, and then I won state championship. Then I won nationals. Then I got on the USA team. Then I won the world championship in 1999. And then I was ranked number one in the world for 3 years in karate. Like you can Google me. If you Google my name, it'll all pop up.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. You were named as far as the country or the world?
The world. I was world champion.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
did you, so what was the martial arts? Was it karate or was it,
That was karate, but I won all standing styles. At that time, karate was a little bit different back then. Now it's more UFC and stuff like that. But back then, yeah, it was karate. That's what I was taking.
did you do the, what is it called? It's another, I'd be so confused. Um, what is the other martial art? Shoot, not judo, not that.
A whole
Ah,
bunch of styles: taekwondo, kung fu. Uh,
yeah, taekwondo. Did
yeah,
you do that or
I
no?
did
I
some.
just
Yeah,
have to focus.
no, no, no. I did some taekwondo also. I used to mix styles. That's how my style became so good because I would mix them together.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
My Mhm.
I want to tell you, thank you for sharing your testimony today. I I I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Just doing what I
You've
can.
come you've come a long way. And I'm so proud of you. And your kids, you got two kids. We ain't gonna forget about the kids.
Yeah, 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. Yep.
Yeah, we can't forget about the kids. And I, hold up. Um, I got one child and she's about to graduate from Howard.
Yeah.
And it's woo, it's such a blessing, James, to raise kids and to see them go through their process,
Yeah.
right? To
Yep.
see them go through.
A
To
better
see to,
process, a better process than what I went through. That's the point.
yes. And you know, I read this book, or I've read this book, I should say, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself by Homesteader.
Hmm.
And it's what we repeat to ourselves. We have to watch our verbiage.
Hmm.
Because we all can be down sometimes, like, wait a minute. Then you have to be like, wait a minute. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You
Hmm.
got to snap out of it
Hmm.
because life and death are in the power of the tongue. So what you speak over your life, even though, we wake up sometimes, we're like, oh God, what is happening?
Hmm.
But you pushing through is sometimes that's the hard part. And once you push through, it's uh the cocoon going to the butterfly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you push through, you be like, whoa, I made it.
Hmm.
I made it. Oh my God, I made it.
Hmm.
And so your story, I just want to tell you, thank you again for sharing it. You I forgot what did we met? What did we meet? 2017? 18?
It's probably around there. Yeah. Yeah. It was 16, 17, or 18. It was one of them was somewhere in there.
And you came up to Cleveland. And you know what? Listen, I I'm putting this, yeah, I'm putting this on YouTube. You, James, don't quit on inspiring. I'm not saying you quit, but you um oh hey y'all, man, Desmond Tutu.
Yeah.
Forget about that.
Yes.
That was at a conference.
Yes, that was the national conference when I gave his opening speech, his introduction speech. Yeah.
Is he still alive? I'm so sorry. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I can check though, but I don't know if he is or not.
But that's what I remembered about you. It was a lot I remembered about you. But I remember you met Desmond Tutu.
I did.
And we gotta take all of our celebrations. And I just want to celebrate you today. and continue to inspire youth.
Hmm.
I'm going to send this video out to a couple of my former foster kids, not former, social worker. I was a social worker for them,
Hmm.
but just to keep pushing through.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
good.
And I love you to life.
It's all
Kiss
good,
the
man.
kids from me.
Yes, I got you.
All right. God bless. Wait, hold up. Like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that is a survivor. Bye, James. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Bye bye.